Hey y'all, this is Jay from Jay's Decor and Restore. So today I'm heading over to my niece Dre's house. She has a dresser that she was getting ready to throw out. It just didn't fit the color scheme in the room she's decorating. So I asked her, you know what, let me take a look at it. I love restoring and refinishing furniture. And you know what, after looking at it, it did look like a really good piece. So we're gonna go ahead and work on it today. I'm heading over there right now, so I'll see you there.
This is my Tia Jay.
Hello.
From Jay's Decor and Restore. We're coming from you today from the garage of the new house that Brian and I purchased. So please excuse the rando boxes, pieces of furniture, things you may see in the background. I'm not a hoarder, I promise.
Well, many of you may know, in purchasing a new house, you know, you're on a budget. You've just put all your money into purchasing the house. And so Dre actually has some great pieces, but the color scheme doesn't fit with what she's trying to accomplish in some of her rooms.
Yeah, so basically I have a vision of what I want done, and I've looked online everywhere. Either it's too expensive or it's not the right shade of whatever color I'm trying to do for the room. So I'm lucky enough to have a Tia who knows how to do all this stuff. And today we're gonna start with this lovely dresser from Ikea and basically turn it from a poopy brown color to something nice that puts my glam room together. Stay tuned for other videos because I want you guys to see the process of how my glam room started to the finished product with some other pieces that we may also restore to finish that specific room.
So today, like Dre said, we're gonna go ahead and start working on this. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of take you through different steps. You know, we're gonna give you a little bit closer look at as to what we're doing with it. We're going to, she's picked up a beautiful gray color to match her room. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start off with kind of reviewing the various tools that we're gonna be working with today. You know, sometimes power tools can be intimidating. So we want to make sure that we kind of show you how to use them and the fact that they're really not intimidating. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start reviewing some of those tools right now. Okay, so let's go over the tools. So we've got our power drill here that we're going to use to drill the holes for the knobs. We've got the painter's tape. We have this fun little gadget that I will go into more detail a little bit later. We found it at Ikea. We have our sanders. And I will go through those a little bit more as we use them. We have our rags. It's always good to be prepared in case you spill. We have our painter's brushes and rollers. We have the knobs that we're going to use. And then we have some latex gloves. And finally, scissors, just in case you need them.
So here's a better look at the dresser that we're going to be refurbishing today. It has 6 drawers. So the first thing we're gonna do is take all the drawers out so that we can mark it with the painter's tape, get everything ready, make sure there's no spills. We wanna do a really good job on this. Something to note is I thought, let me just throw some paint on this, like no big deal. That's when we found out that you definitely there's a process for everything that you have to do. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with the drawers and then take you through the process so you can see exactly how everything gets done.
Okay, so we've got 2 sanders here that I brought. This is a rectangular sander and it has a dust box. And this is a round sander. In a project like this, you're gonna wanna use the rectangular sander because when you use a round sander, it will cause swirls in your furniture. And then when you paint it, you're gonna see those swirls. So we're gonna be using the rectangular sander for today. We're also gonna have a little sander block, and this is for those little hard to reach places that you can't get with the sander. So here's what I want to show you as well. We've got the drawer from her dresser, and this is a laminate material. So you want to be a little bit careful when you're sanding this so that you're not sanding down too much. You're just trying to take that top layer off so that the paint kind of sticks to it. And if you're not sure what the difference is in a laminate and a real wood drawer, I brought this drawer here, and you can see that there's a lot of grain in this drawer versus this. This is more smooth and has like a little layer of plastic or laminate to it. So that's the things that you have to look for. And then what we're gonna do, as we're going over here, let's show you, I started sanding this because it's a big piece, and this is really what it's gonna look like. So I started sanding this here so that you kind of get a visual of what to expect. And what we're gonna have Dre do is, she's actually gonna sand one of the drawers, and so that you can see how easy it is to use a sander. All right, so here we're getting started with Dre. She's using the sand block to get those little corners before she starts using the actual sander. And so I'm gonna get a little closer here so you can see how, you're trying to get that top layer off, and that way the paint can adhere to it. So I think we're good there. And now let's flip it over. And she's actually gonna start using the sander. Now this is her first time using the sander, so this is exciting.
I'm nervous.
Okay, so here we go. So what she did here is she was going, up and down like this against the grain, especially if you're working with real wood. You want to make sure you're going, with the grain, not against the grain. Let me change that. It's with the grain. So she just took that nice top layer off. And then what she's going to want to do is she's going to want to wipe it down. So we got all that sand off, and you can see that we actually took some of that top layer off. There's probably a few little spots we'll go over again. But you kind of get the idea of how easy it is to use a sander. And when I referenced the sander earlier, I mentioned that the block, the dust block. I'm telling you, I love it because you get a little dust, but it does certainly help to capture all that dust. So great job, Dre, on your first try.
Thanks.
So we've finished sanding everything, and we're gonna get ready to paint. But before we start painting, here's what I always recommend you do. If you're gonna put knobs in your, on a dresser, you want to drill the hole before you start painting. This way you don't drill the paint off. So my husband taught me a little trick on how to pick the right drill bit. So here's all the drill bits, which when I first saw that, I was like, how in the heck do you pick out the right drill bit? Here is the knob that Andrea has chosen. How pretty, right? So what you do is you take the end of the knob and you line it up with the right drill bit that's going to fit. So see how they match, and this means that the actual knob, the screw will go right through there with no problem. Okay, so you go ahead and do that, and so we have that ready. And then to make sure you have all the knobs aligned, you're going to take a measure. You're going to measure your drawer. So we've already kind of measured this out, so that way we wouldn't take too much time on the video. And this, remember I told you about this little thing here? Well, this little thing helps you determine which, what hole you're going to want to use, so that every time you have to drill a hole, in this case, I know that it's under the 0 and it's the 3rd hole up, so that all the measurement is the exact same way. So I've already made a little dot there to get my drill started. And I'll tell you, I found this a little bit intimidating at first, but now I love it because it's kind of fun. So now you take your drill and you go right through that little hole. And so we're gonna line it up perfectly here. And we're gonna go ahead, hold on to your drawer firmly. So as you're drilling, you don't have to worry about it moving. Okay, now press it to bring it back out. And now you have drilled the perfect hole. And just to show you, the knob fits right through there. So that is how you drill. All right, so we are done with the prep work. We have sanded, we have taped, and we are now done with the power tools.
Yay, it's time for a glass of wine.
Calm down now. We're not ready for the glass of wine, but we will put some music on while we get ready to paint. We can get our groove on.
Oh, God.
All right, so we've poured the paint into these little plastic trays, and we have our roller here. I prefer using a roller when you're painting, especially furniture, so that way you don't leave brush strokes. So I usually use that. And then this little thing here is for those little corners and edges so that you can get in there with where the roller won't go. All right, so here we are. Dre's started painting already. And really, it depends on the color that you pick out. Sometimes one coat is fine. And in this particular case, we bought a paint that has a primer in it. So just looking at it right off the bat, I don't even know if we're going to need another coat, right? So I think this is going to go pretty quick. All right.
Okay, so now we're gonna start the final step. Now you can see part of the dresser and the color that we did, but I don't wanna show you guys all of it yet until we do the final reveal with the drawers and the knobs and everything on.
Okay, so Dre is actually going to polyurethane the entire dresser. She's going to do the drawers as well. And go ahead and start, like, just kind of, what you want to do is you want to go nice long strokes and cover it completely up, just like that. And the reason I highly recommend you polyurethane is because this will prevent the paint from chipping. When you paint on laminate, it can, even if you've sanded it, it can easily scratch off. So when you polyurethane, it just kind of sets the paint in place. So it's really easy. What you do is you put one coat and then you wait a couple of hours and then you put another coat. Don't wait any more than 2 hours, or otherwise you have to wait 48 hours. I don't know why, but that's what the can says. So anyway, so we're gonna finish the rest of the polyurethane and then we will come back for the big reveal. Okay, so it's finally time for the unveiling of her glam room. Look at how beautiful the dresser turned out. These knobs that she picked out, I mean, they just tie in with the whole glam theme, and the color of the dresser is just gorgeous. This sign, she actually saw a couple of these signs online, but none of them matched with the theme of her room. So I found this frame and then another frame that you'll see in a minute in my closet that I was going to throw out, and I thought I'd surprise her and kind of tie it all in with the shoes that she has right here with all her shelves. And then this is the other sign that I made for her that is just perfect as she's putting on her makeup every day. And then the shelves that she put together here with all her frames, and it's just, I think, a perfect tie-in to what she was looking for, incorporating the gray and the pink and the black. I think we did a really great job. And this piece here, actually Dre did it herself. After I showed her how to sand, she found this piece and decided to go ahead, and she had a ton of paint left, so she decided to go ahead and paint it as well, and it fits perfectly underneath that window right there. So I think she did, it just all came out great.
So I'm blown away at how awesome everything looks. I had an idea of what I wanted to do. I didn't want it to look too juvenile, but I still wanted it to look glam and nice and not too dark, but not super pink everywhere. So all the gray and the stuff that we did with the knobs, it looks perfect. I'm blown away. I love the signs that she surprised me with. They look amazing. It all ties in with my shoes and my makeup area, my organization of pictures and perfumes and lotions, everything. And then of course here, sunglasses, everything you can imagine. It looks perfect and I love it. Now, I noticed 2 glasses of wine. Does it mean it's finally wine time?
It is wine time.
Woo!
So I think we've done an amazing job.
It looks great.
So if you guys like the video and you want to see more, be sure to subscribe. Down below I have a link also to my website. Like this video, subscribe to the video, share with your friends. And I do want to let you know that if you visit my website and subscribe, every month I will do a raffle, and you can win something at the end of the month. I will be pulling a name. You can win something like this really cool t-shirt. So be sure to visit my website and subscribe, my Instagram page, my Pinterest, and all of that good stuff. So I think it is now time to celebrate a job well done.
Thanks you so much. Thanks
You're
everybody
welcome.
for tuning
Cheers.
in. Cheers.